In the mystical land of Elementaria, where fairies, nymphs, glyphs, and salamanders all coexisted in relative harmony, there was an annual elemental balancing ritual. It was supposed to keep everything in check: fire, water, air, and earth, all vibing in perfect equilibrium. But this year, something went terribly wrong. See, a rogue quantum particle, probably a mischievous electron that had been skipping physics class, decided to crash the ceremony. It zipped through the air at uncertain velocities, flipping states like an over-caffeinated light switch. The chaos began with the fairies, who were in charge of the air element. They flapped their tiny wings, trying to create a graceful breeze of harmony. But the quantum particle got superpositioned between their gusts. This resulted in half the fairies experiencing tornado-force winds, while the other half stood awkwardly in total stillness. Meanwhile, the nymphs, water spirits, not great fans of quantum nonsense, were supposed to summon a gentle stream of balance. But thanks to the quantum particle, their water started behaving like Schrodinger's river, flowing both upstream and downstream simultaneously. Confused fish swam in circles, and one unfortunate nymph kept getting splashed by waves that hadn't even arrived yet. Then there were the glyphs, ancient magical symbols that shaped reality. Normally wise and precise, they suddenly found themselves in a probability loop, rewriting themselves at random. Instead of universal balance, their sacred inscription now read unlimited free tacos, which was nice, but not exactly helpful. And the salamanders, fiery, dramatic, and allergic to logic, were absolutely thrilled by the chaos. Their flames started quantum tunneling in and out of existence, meaning fire was appearing in random places with no explanation. One salamander was particularly delighted when he sneezed and accidentally set fire to a waterfall. At the center of this catastrophe stood Professor Quarkus, a highly confused quantum physicist who had fallen into Elementaria after tripping over his cat, holding his equation scroll, which was actually just a very wrinkled napkin from a cafe. He attempted to explain.
You see, my elemental friends, the quantum world doesn't follow your traditional rules. Particles exist in multiple states. Waves collapse when observed. And time itself is just...
But before he could finish, the fairies, nymphs, glyphs, and salamanders all yelled in unison.
Just fix it.
Realizing he had two options: either restore balance or be magically yeeted into a dimension of pure chaos, Professor Quarkus took a deep breath. He grabbed the rogue quantum particle and observed it. With a soft pop, the particle stopped being unpredictable. The winds calmed. The river flowed properly. The glyphs rewrote themselves to say crisis averted. and the salamanders' flames returned to only burning things that actually made sense. Balance was restored. The fairies threw a celebratory breeze. The nymphs poured everyone a nice cup of properly behaving water. The glyphs recorded the day's events in a very passive-aggressive inscription. And the salamanders? They invited the quantum particle to join their band. As for Professor Quarkus, he was granted the highest honor of Elementaria, a free taco and a one-way teleportation back home before he caused any more trouble. And thus, the quantum catastrophe became just another ridiculous legend in the land of Elementaria, proving once and for all that mixing elemental magic with quantum mechanics is a terrible, terrible idea.